What is going on, everyone? My name is JX, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we have the Act 3 reworked dialogue. If you don't know, we've been going back in time to the Act 1, 2, and now 3 that got reworked earlier this year, which basically meant Kabam kind of went back and condensed the Act 1 through 3, making from the, 4 chapters there used to be to now 1 from Act 1, 1 for Act 2, and now 2 chapters for Act 3. So it's a lot shorter than it used to be, but for what Kabam have done, it kind of, condensed it, kept the main storyline the same, but also added some cool tidbits of new information or new characters, and it's really cool. I actually really like this, especially with Thanos. Thanos is, the same story, but now he has the children of Thanos, Prophet Midnight, Corvus Glaive, Ebony Maw, Cull Obsidian. It's really cool. It feels more narratively better. They've definitely improved it, and Act 3 is always, to me, was never one of my favorites because it felt like a good foreshadowing act, but it mostly felt like an in between 2 and 3, or 2 and 4. Like 3 was like kind of forgettable, and this one is kind of not, because it kind of combines what I said when we did Act 2, is like the benefactor was revealed in the post cutscene basically, but in the dialogue it was in Act 2 that he was revealed, but in this it's revealed in Act 3. So obviously you know who the benefactor is. He's on screen right now, but it's really interesting, and I'm excited to break it down with you. All right, so obviously we finished Act 2. We defeated Kang. Basically, we finally defeated Kang. The whole Act 1 and 2 was kind of set up for us to defeat Kang. And Collector's like, congratulations. With Kang removed, we can kind of move on and find a new opponent. And Thanos is still questioning, everything. He's like, tell me more about this battle realm. And Collector's like, actually, Collector doesn't say this. I think the Thanos does. It was a little weird because it was like Thanos showed up on both sides. It was a little bit of a bug. But the Collector is like, your curiosity is noted. Unfortunately, the benefactor would not appreciate loose lips, and loose lips sink ships, right? And Thanos is like, benefactor. He's like, who is this? The Collector is kind of still on this thing, like, we need to find the summoner and more opponents. And Thanos is like, I have a gift then, my children, the Black Order, which I think is super cool. I 100% like this, because the children of Thanos are really only in a handful of events. They were obviously in Thanos' Infinity Conquest, but besides, those events, which was like 3, that they were in, their introduction, because, we had basically the part 1 and 2 right next to each other, then the end game. And I think last time we saw them was when Overseer came to the game, because they were in the Forbidden Zones, and it seems like they're doing something, maybe resurrecting Thanos, I don't know. But we'll find out. Or maybe even just serving nameless Thanos. It's interesting. What now, then, of this benefactor of yours? Thanos, I'm an elder of means. Do you really think the acquire sensitive information with champions? So he is kind of like, I kind of don't owe you anything. He's like, my collection is millions deep. I have my favor, but I certainly do not owe you. He's like, he basically telling you, I ain't telling you nothing. And Thanos kind of, brings us to the side, and he's like, I believe I understand that, because we actually work together. Me and Thanos, us, Thanos, because we're all the summoner, right? We work with Thanos to defeat Kang. It was basically 2 against 1, with the Collector kind of rooting for us, basically. And Thanos kind of understands. It's like, he understands there's more than just fighting champions to fight champions. He understands that there's, we were promised the ISO spear, the trophy of the contest, but he understands that's not the true prize. It's the battle realm itself. His little trophy is filled with millions of ISO 8 stars. But what's millions of ISO 8 stars if the entire battle realm is made of ISO 8 itself? A fractured universe of multiversal parts. I mean, like, why prize one object when you can prize the entire realm? So that's how he's looking at it. He's like, I believe the ISO 8 here is what could be towards even the might of the Collector, and perhaps even this so-called benefactor. Which really teases, Thanos' future Infinity Conquest, really. Because if you don't know, the Infinity Stones are made of ISO 8. They're made out of different ISO 8s and made out of different means of ISO 8. So it's really teasing that. Thanos is like, he's questioning everything, and he's lusting for power, is really what you're getting at. And even Captain says, you should stop daydreaming about power. And even Thanos, backs, he's like this. I wonder, are you from a universe I corrected, one where you failed? Like, oh man, I just got Endgame, flashbacks, dude. To 2014 Thanos talking to Cap. He's like, where did that bring you? Back to me. And we see the Maestro. Oh my goodness. He's like, Collector, what is this madness? What is that Titan doing in my battle realm? And Collector's like, Maestro, what a surprise. You witnessed the collab contest in action. You told me to run the contest. I'm doing it. And he's like, know that you test my patience with this elder. Let us hope the decision breaks fruit. So yeah, obviously the Maestro kind of set the Collector to do his contest for a reason, and it seems like he's kind of collecting ISO 8, and obviously we know he's condensing ISO 8, which we'll find out in Act 4. But it's really cool, and even Thanos says right here he sees him for the first time. He's like, the Maestro. And Maestro is like, Summoner Thanos, understand that you are pawns in my game, beyond your understanding, and know your place. Unlike the moronic hoax you have witnessed, I have truly grasped the power of strength and Banner's key mind. I have realized the full potential of both. The pathetic creature had become something more. I am a conqueror, ruler, and universal dominator. I am the Maestro. And yeah, holy yeah, right. Like the Maestro is my favorite Hulk ever. I just love it. He's not Bruce Banner, and he's not the Hulk. He's something more. He's the conqueror. He is beyond them both, and it's so cool. I love it. And this is really cool. Is that the Maestro? Like, look at this. He says, "Respect that. At least I bear parts of my body to new trophies. You should understand, best Captain." As he showcases his Captain America's shield from another world. This is cool. Now I always question this, is like, the Contest Champions comic book from 2015 is based on our game, and Secret Wars 2015. But in that comic, it's actually the Maestro who was in an actual Contest Champions, and he defeated the other opponents, and each time he defeated them, he gained their weapon or their armor, and that's why every weapon he has in the game is from that original contest. And so in that one, it was actually Air Capitan, which was a Red Skull, German Captain America, and he stole the shield from, and the Iron Hulk armor, and just, magic sword, etc. So it was all from those characters, and it's really cool, because obviously Gabriel Fizera kind of designed this Hulk, and then Gabriel Fizera also, gave those designs for that comic book. So it's kind of, I don't know if this is, saying this Maestro specifically has this shield, but that also Air Capitan was in Gabriel Fizera's Civil War comic book for this game later on. We'll talk about. Pretty awesome. That is like, but do you know the true value of this place is more than glorified battlefield? So now he kind of stopped talking to the Collector, because the Collector's not going to give him information. It's the Maestro who he's really after. He's like, Maestro's like, my knowledge of this battle is limitless. Titan, do not question me. I'm here to see you fight. He's kind of like, he's like this overseer. I mean, like, not really overseer, but when I think of overseer, it's someone who oversees everything. So really, the Maestro is an overseer in this sense. And Iron Man's like, hang in there, buddy. Doctor Strange is working on freeing others from ISO spell, which exactly happened in the original. In fact, Scarlet Witch, which in Act 2 did that, which I was actually missing, but I put it in the thumbnail anyways. This is super cool. By your standards, perhaps this is more than value than simple variety or pristine quality. Tannelier. The Maestro snaps his meaty fingers and a portal opens up. He reaches through and it produces a massive crystal, easily holding it in a single hand, which the crystals are like life size. So just imagine him holding a giant crystal of a Ultron. Oh my gosh, man. Ultron shows up. The crystal spins, sparks and shatters, just how we open crystals in the game. And Ultron opens up. He says, scans are returning. Nothing familiar. Some sort of interdimensional pocket with portions of Earth's plural, it seems. This is so cool. Welcome to the contest of... I've already got it figured out, Collector. My network's still online, which means I'm not alone. Just how I like it. Now, this is really cool because this is Ultron's first appearance. The classic Ultron, the Labtron from the comics. But this is what he says. I've already got it figured out, Collector. He's understanding his network's online and is connecting to other Ultrons. This kind of I think about Marvel Realm of Champions. Because in Marvel Realm of Champions, we kind of found out that, obviously, first off, the battle world was created by the Maestro, and he started summoning other variants of characters, and one of them was Iron Man. And then Iron Man actually created this AI, Stark Prime, and that Stark Prime actually created these Ultron bots that we're going to see in our game. It's really cool because, people, when you have MROC, which was basically a spin-off of the contest, it actually ties everything back to the contest of the missing years of Maestro, because we don't really understand half of his plan, really. MROC actually explains it, and we kind of understand that he had Stark Prime. He was forced, Stark Prime was forced by Maestro's personal warmonger using the fancy tech to build an army of killer robots, which we know as Ultron, and even Viv Vision is actually Ultron in Marvel Realm Champions, and she's coming to the game because we have the Ultron Network coming to the game as well, which she called herself Viv Prime, just like our MCU Ultron Prime. I mean, it's so cool. I mean, I will talk more about MROC next in Act 4, but it's so cool, and he understands the network is online, and that's straight from MROC because Viv Vision was talking about the network. Or Viv Prime. Captain Stark, what a coincidence. Looks like my mistakes will follow me even this far from home. I mean, this is just pretty cool. It's kind of meta, too, because obviously in the MCU, Iron Man created Ultron. In MROC, Iron Man created Ultron. In the comics, it was actually Ant-Man, but for this, it's pretty cool. And then Far From Home, obviously, kind of interesting, Spider-Man. Anyways, the world-ending machine and Summoner with an inflated ego. I'm excited to see who destroys whom. Don't forget Summoner. And name will be Eternity Catalog with the rest of fatalities. And we destroy Ultron. Before Ultron can continue, Maestro grabs him and just throws him. It's pretty funny. I won't credit you for knocking out a wind-up toy summoner, but you need to be proven as a real opponent. And Thanos is like, I will join the contest. And Maestro is kind of, Thanos is still talking to him, egging on his ear. Why does the dominant rely on it? Just scraped up. He's got another question. Why do you need an elder to do your bidding, basically? Do you lack with it? And Maestro's just like, shut up. He's like, be quiet, Titan. And Maestro, if I may calm yourself down, he's like super angry. So it's, it's really cool is that Maestro he does have a temper. Like he has a real temper in the comics. It's really cool just to see him. He doesn't really have limits. Like, kind of like Hulk shouldn't have limits. The Maestro doesn't, and he doesn't care to hold back his anger. That you kind of see in the MCU, like, right? He's like, Hulk is like, or, Bruce is like, I'm always angry, but he holds it back, right? The Maestro doesn't. But the Collector is kind of like, stay calm. You're intelligent and you're powerful, and the more powerful you are is the more angry you are, so you have to kind of keep it under wraps. Then just like, in my battles here I've accumulated a great amount of ISO. This is interesting. He's bargaining ISO. Basically, if he defeats us, he will give the Maestro the ISO because he knows he needs it. And then if he loses, if he wins, if he loses, he will get the ISO 8. If he wins, he wants a direct fight with the Maestro. He doesn't want the Maestro using champions. It's a one-on-one fight, which is interesting because if you know the post scene, the post fight scene, the post boss fight scene in Act 4, you'll specifically know kind of what he means. It's actually really cool. Someone to put this Cretan in his place, annihilate him if you must. It's funny because King said the same thing. It's actually cool. And we fight Thanos. Basically, Thanos, we teamed together to defeat Kang, and then Thanos kind of turned his back on us, and now we defeat him. And this obviously will kind of set up the Infinity Conquest later on, and it starts in Act 4. So yeah, man, this is really cool. And obviously, I'm going to show the post-credit scene as well. Congratulations, Summoner, you have crushed the Titan. Time to put him back in the shelf. So yeah, Maestro just puts him on the shelf. Your new opponent is eager to challenge you. So kind of the same thing with Act 2. It's out of order now because of the rework. Obviously, we saw Ultron in Act 3, but in the Act 3 cutscene, Ultron's revealed, so it's a little different. But this is kind of just showcasing the army of Ultrons in a sense. And your new opponent is eager to challenge you. The Maestro. He is unlike you have you faced ever before. Yeah, so obviously if you know Act 4, we fight the Maestro. I mean, it's so cool. Act 4 is one of my favorite events in the entire contest. I mean, it's going to be really awesome. So hope you guys enjoyed Act 3 dialogue breakdown. We'll have Act 4 soon. Obviously it hasn't been reworked in the sense of, condensing it. So it'll be hard to do. I don't know if I'll do different parts, but unless you guys want a super long video. But I really enjoy this. I love that they kind of break the best parts of Act 2 and a little bit and kind of helped it and make a cohesive story from 1 to 3. It's really great. And obviously this just teases the future, man. We have Act 4 next, which is going to be awesome. And then we're going to have the Infinity Conquest of Thanos soon. So it's, yeah, man, it's going to be exciting. I hope you guys all enjoy these videos. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.